While the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic continues to spread sorrow and tears across the world, there is also some good news. As at the last count, at least 9 countries had reopened for business or were about to do so after lockdowns caused by the deadly virus. They include China, where the virus originated, Czech Republic, Italy, Spain, Denmark, Austria, Germany, Norway, and Switzerland. People in the Czech Republic can now shop at hardware and bicycle stores, play tennis, and go swimming. Italians can visit bookshops and laundries, while in Spain, some 300,000 people have since returned to work. In Madrid, younger students are returning to classrooms in Denmark. Austria has reopened smaller stores, and Germany will follow suit next week. These nations are among the first in the West to start feeling their way gradually out of the limits on daily life imposed by governments to curb the spread of the coronavirus. They are following the example of China, where COVID-19 originated, but which has since reopened for business. Chancellor Angela Merkel announced on April 15 that Germany, Europe's biggest economy, was ready to start carefully scaling back some restrictions from next week, though she acknowledged that we have little room to maneuver. Yet, little by little, daily life in some parts of the continent is starting to get moving again. Czech Republic reopened for business the previous week with the easing of the lockdown. In Italy, bookstores, laundries, stationery stores, and children's clothing stores were among the businesses allowed to reopen on April 14 after a government decree signed by Prime Minister Conte on April 10. Many non-essential employees across Spain returned to work after the Easter weekend, with 300,000 estimated to have gone back in the Madrid region, according to regional government. On its part, Denmark is speeding up its decision to lift COVID-19 restrictions after the latest news. I'll take that again. On its part, Denmark is speeding up its decision to lift COVID-19 restrictions after the latest numbers of new cases proved lower than expected, the Danish Prime Minister said. At a news conference on April 14, he said the country would expand phase 1 of its reopening, beginning from the next day with the partial reopening of schools for younger students. In Czech Republic, the government said on April 6 that people would be able to exercise alone without masks, and that shops such as hardware and bicycle stores will be allowed to reopen. Outdoor sports facilities have also reopened, while students were also about to resume classes. The government also announced that it will soon allow farmers' markets and car dealerships to reopen, while weddings will be permitted provided fewer than 10 people attend. Neighboring Austria is taking a different approach as it eases restrictions. The city of Salzburg has lifted confinement restrictions for 8 out of its 9 municipalities, Salzburg State Media Center announced on April 14. In the community of Artemarkt, the confinement was extended by 2 days because of a number of cases in a retirement home. Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz announced the previous week that the country was planning a resurrection after Easter by reopening some smaller shops, hardware, and garden stores. But people will have to wear masks to supermarkets and on public transport. Norway is taking a different approach again, prioritizing reopening schools as it eases containment measures introduced in mid-March. It will begin to scale back its lockdown measures from April 20, Prime Minister Erna Solberg said, when kindergartens will start to reopen. A week later, schools will reopen for pupils in grades 1 to 4. Switzerland is also considering a way out of confinement. Despite extending social distancing restrictions to April 26, its government has indicated that other measures could be relaxed later this month, including border controls, school closures, and bans on gatherings if the virus spread is kept in check. While many more countries, including Nigeria, remain under lockdown, the message from China and Europe is that there is life after coronavirus. So are you worried about the lockdown? Don't worry, it may be over sooner than later. From Lagos, this is Tina Timothy, News Express Nigeria Television.